Magic, I thought you were the guy that's late for everything, but Nick seems to be challenging you for that title.
I thought so too. I'm just glad it's not me this time.
Can you feel the love tonight? Greg, Greg and Magic. Dear ladies and gents, it is I, Nick Storm, the Australian icon, and sorry, I didn't know you guys were already here. It took a little bit of time. I'll be honest. How are you guys going?
Good. It took us a while to hack your computer and take over it live, but we're no worse for the wear.
Hey man, I wouldn't put it past you guys to go and do something like that. You guys, look, I'm joined by the dream team when it comes to professional wrestling figures, right? One is quite literally a magician, and the other is a reformed goth. So Magic and Greg, welcome to Chatting Up a Storm. Greg, welcome back. Magic, first time having you guys on. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Pumped to be here, excited. Thanks for having us.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the first time anyone's been excited to do anything involving with me, so I appreciate that. But yeah, we're coming right off of Revolution, and more importantly, Revolution Fan Fest. But I have here in my notes the producer wrote these. Okay, I don't have anything to do with this show. I'm just quite merely a puppet. I'll be honest. So the producer wrote.
It's a good thing you had those handy too, in addition to also being late to your own podcast that we were already on. Good how that all worked out, isn't it?
Look, I call me professional, call me unprofessional, whatever you want. I'm an icon, and that's all I need to say. Okay, but my producer wrote here. It just says, "How do you get the beards?" I think that's a little harsh because.
Are you looking to grow one?
Is your producer projecting onto you?
I think he is. Do you have anything to say? How do you get the beards? You guys are like the beard brothers, if I'll be honest, when it comes to figures.
Magic's is definitely more virile and full and a life of its own than I could ever get. So I defer to him.
My tip is don't ever shave. That's just
my problem.
My whole thing. I haven't shaved since 2015. I haven't touched my face since 2015.
You don't even do like cleanups or trims?
No, not anymore. I haven't touched my hair since 2020. Any of it. I trim my mustache because it does get in my mouth.
You got to, because the mustache gets out of control. Mine's I'm going to the barbershop tomorrow. Mine's definitely due.
Have you ever thought about waxing it? Like
at one point. Waxing it.
Waxing the mustache, getting the little curlies at the end?
Yeah, mine's definitely, it stopped growing on its own. I just think it doesn't want to be any longer, so it's kind of been this length for a while now.
Yeah, we have a project manager at the office, Adam Santoff. He worked with Jeremy on the original WWE Jax line. He has like that holy crap biker mountain man beard with a shaved head, and it gives him that even more of an intimidating look that he has anyway. And it's like down to here now at this point. So we all kind of go, okay, Adam, you win.
That's it. Give him the trophy. Give him the crown. He's won it all. Let's get off the topic of beards. I could talk here all day about facial hair, but let's talk about what everyone came here to see. That is weird, I know, but look, it's a majestic thing, and I have none of it, so I'm jealous. All I can say. But another thing I don't have and I'm jealous of is these new figure reveals that we got from Jazzwares. What a great segue. But yeah, Greg, last time I talked to you was Double or Nothing 2021 when the Fan Fest was happening there. How do you think like Jazzwares and the AEW partnership with Jazzwares has grown and progressed in that time? Magic, you can also talk as well.
It's nice. It's funny. I always go back to this example. When we signed with AEW, they had just done the first Double or Nothing and Fighter Fest, I think. And we were still just little humble old wicked cool toys where Magic, at most, there was like 15 of us in that office, that tiny little shoebox office. So we essentially scaled up together in real time. Like AEW grew, Wicked Cool grew, Wicked Cool became part of Jazzwares. AEW signed a broadcast deal with Warner Media. Like we're scaling up in every way together, which is a lovely thing. And even the Fan Fest, I think, are scaling up too. We went from a simple pipe and drape affair with laggy, bad audio visuals to at least a little bit more of a tidy presentation at the last couple. And we're already planning out what the next one could be. And it's nice. It's fun. it's not sophisticated by any means. We know it's a little bit of like a fun ramshackle affair, but it's got that raw realness to it that's not over polished, but still well presented, we hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that brings me to like, didn't I think I was rewatching the interview that we did for that Double or Nothing 2021 Fan Fest, and I think you said like it was 3 weeks of planning, which was just, I think, very kind of abrupt, you know. But was this one obviously longer than 3 weeks? How long do you plan these Fan Fests now in advance?
It had to be because the first one was in Jacksonville, so we knew what the venue was because it's all Mr. Khan's facility, right? The Jaguars
Mhm.
play there. Dynamite essentially lived there at Daly Place, so at least we had a control over our environment. We ended up missing the one in August, which we still cry about because naturally that was in sync with the first dance and CM Punk coming back. But we were still under like travel ban, for COVID stuff. I think at that point Delta was starting to rear its ugly head. So when they announced this one, we knew we were going to be in a different venue. We had to do like months of planning because we have to figure out like this is the unsexy behind the scenes stuff, but it's like, how do you load in? When do you load in? Are the doors literally wide enough for our stuff? Getting all the stuff there and then having a crew to then build it up. Turns out at the Jacksonville, when we had 2 days to lazily, very cool on our own schedule, put the damn thing together. And we couldn't load in at Revolution until literally the morning of the event. So we had essentially 4 hours to get ready. But we did like a month of planning or a month and a half of planning. So it paid off.
Okay, wow, that sounds a lot better than 3 weeks of rushed stuff that you have no clue.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have anything to bounce this off of like prior because this is the first one for Double or Nothing last year. And that brings me to how was Revolution? How was the pay-per-view overall? How was that weekend for you both?
That was
What do you
awesome.
think, Magic?
It was an incredible weekend. I had a ton of fun. Just even hanging out with Greg and Chris and everybody, just a blast. And being in the hotel and just like seeing everybody hanging around, pretty cool.
Yeah, we stayed at
Yeah.
the same hotel as the AEW talent and production crew. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and the event was great, naturally, but it was fun. We find we don't get sick of these people, and they don't get sick of us after 2 or 3 days together. That's a nice feeling. They're very welcoming to us. They're very accommodating to us, and they also like respect what we do the way we respect what they do, and that feels really good. I had just because of whatever travel schedules, approvals for travel, whatever. I got the lion's share of representing a lot of the line to the talent in the first, several months of our relationship. So Magic's been long overdue since New York Toy Fair. God help us, it's 2020. It feels like forever ago already.
Is that the last time you
But
guys were paired up at a convention with these figures? Was that Toy Fair 2020?
yeah, because even Jacksonville, Magic was in a different building altogether. I think scanning talent all day, so we didn't even do that fan
Right.
fest together.
Yeah.
But Magic got some long overdue FaceTime with the people he's making figures of, and they spare no expense when they come up to him and talk to him about it, and thank him and hug him and literally cry on his shoulder because they love their figures so much. And it's so nice that everyone gets to share in that because the whole team busts ass on these things, and it's nice to get Magic out of the cage every now and then.
I mean, that beard is justified if he has, if he has that man cave, So but speaking of Revolution and just the pay-per-view in general, something that crosses my mind is the fact the main event for that was Adam versus Adam. I hope Adam wins. But Adam Cole, he wore Halo gear to the ring. Now, Greg, I know you do work on the Halo line for Jazzwares. Is this a possibility? And Magic, would you be down to design something like this?
I think the easy answer to that question comes from Magic. I'm gonna guess what he's gonna say, but let him say it himself.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then my answer would be yes if we can, but I don't know if we can. It'll take a partnership. It'll take some cool, collaboration between the two companies, which is not out of the realm of possibility. But no way or shape am I confirming that. But we had a great time showing them clips and pics from the event and the days after, and someone on the marketing side at 343 and Microsoft was like, oh yeah, we know Adam Cole. Guy's awesome on Twitch. He's definitely a fan for real. He's not he's no faker. So
Yeah.
you push the seed into the earth a little bit, you pour a little water on it, and then you kind of step back, let the sun do its thing. Maybe that seed will germinate and grow into a fully formed Adam Cole action figure starring John 117 armor. We'll see.
Awesome. That's great. That's great to hear. And this past
The question is, will they
yeah,
allow Master Chief's face on the front of his trunk? That's the real
that,
question.
that on the front of his
That's what
junk.
what my inquiring mind wants to know.
That is very true. Would be cool if we got that in figure form, but hey, that's neither here nor there. If it comes out, that'd be a sick thing. Very, very, maybe even like a ringside exclusive. Do the packaging up, get Chris Metzger on. But this past year for AEW has been so jam packed. Ton of new signings, ton of new like contracts, being renewed, everything like that. I bet when you both signed up to do this gig at Jazzwares, you'd never thought like you'd be creating such a grand roster in figure form, like just expanding how big AEW's roster is. How does that feel for you guys? That you get a lot of these people their first figures and some of their newer figures, but they've had figures in the past. How are you going to outdo that?
I think it's really cool how big it's grown, like you've said. Like, there's a lot of people in the roster now that I never thought would be, particularly like the Hardy Boys. I never pictured them jumping ship. But even people like Brody King, I would see wrestle in Long Beach all the time. I saw his last wrestling match at PCW before he signed with Ring of Honor. It was a big deal because he was like the homegrown talent from there. He grew up in Baldwin Park or something and wrestled there. So to see him in AEW with Malachi Black, and he has like the coolest look, they have like the coolest gimmick going. Like, that's incredible. I didn't think we'd ever make a figure of him. Just 4 years seeing him wrestling in the indie much. So I think it's incredible how much it's grown, how much surprises there are down the line.
Yeah, I agree. One of the matches that I went to with thanks to Magic, and we're all friends in some shape or form. But the Mattel Elite crew, Eddie Kingston was there, and that was my first exposure to him, and I fell in love with the guy instantly. And then a year later, we're making an action figure of him. So it's just so cool.
Yeah,
he was in a cage match versus Warbeast. It was incredible.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he cut the best promo too as everyone was leaving. Like, he starts off with that sincere thing, I'm just a New Yorker. I'm here in LA. We get to wrestle for you guys. And then he just basically ran trash talk all over everyone from LA of how fake and stupid and piece of shit everybody is. It was wonderful. Because I took in both worlds. It was like, hey, I'm a New Yorker, but I'm also an LA piece of shit, apparently.
You're the best of both worlds, as Hannah Montana once said. Another thing that's happened.
I worked on Hannah Montana toys. God, don't bring that up, please.
What haven't you worked on?
That took over my whole 2007 and 2008. If I ever heard the best of both worlds again, looping in a showroom in Hong Kong for 12 hours straight, I might have run him up with an axe. That's how much it drove me crazy.
Do you remember any of the lyrics?
Just the chorus, and that's enough to give me that little eye.
You get the limo out front, ooh,
rocking on the floor. Don't even do it.
But yeah, since last time we talked, Greg, something big has happened, and it's the partnership with it's the cards with inside like Unmatched 3. We saw that inside the Dark Order set. Is that going to be a thing that we see regularly with those cards, and how did that idea come to be as well?
Upper Deck is one of the top premier card companies in the world, right? You got your Topps, you got your Panini, you got your Upper Deck. Upper Deck is AEW's trading card partner of choice. They had the good sense, as well as Jeremy being a trading card guy, as well as Jason, the guy who runs marketing and partnerships over Upper Deck. They all went, this is a no-brainer, right? Like, you guys are our two best partners, our biggest partners. Why don't you guys do something together? So the Unmatched Series 3 and Unrivaled 9 special set, if you guys have noticed, if you compared it to the other cards, there's a different colored border. It's essentially a mirror set of the full set that they put out for AEW. So anyone lucky enough by chance or by just hunting and eBaying to get the full set of cards is going to be a very unique collector, because there's not going to be a lot of them out there. And I'm excited to think about how someone can do that, how much it'll be worth to them as a collector, and then naturally the secondary market being what it is, it could be a crazy thing. But it was so fun to do that. They're great guys, really cool to partner with, and our discussions certainly weren't just focused on what can we do now, but how do we kind of grow this together over time. So we'll probably have some cool things to talk about in the coming months that we can do together, but nothing set in stone just quite yet. But I hope the fans like them, and I hope the fans like their product just to begin with in general, much less our participation in it.
Yeah, I thought it was great getting like, even speaking of Unmatched 3, getting that whole faction of Dark Order, even like just having a whole wave dedicated to one faction was really cool. We'll get more into that later with the fan questions. But speaking about Brody Lee, Mr. Brody Lee, this past week or a couple weeks ago at FanFest, we saw the special revealing of the ringside exclusive -1 Brody Lee 2-pack. What did it mean to you guys to produce a 2-pack like this, and why was it so important?
I think it was really important carrying the legacy of an incredible wrestler while simultaneously giving the first figure to what could be an incredible wrestler, just like an incredible person right now. I just think there's so much into it. I was really kind of nervous about it. And nervous he wouldn't like it, that -1 wouldn't like the figure, or I don't know what. I just thought it could have went really bad really easily. So I'm really, really excited and stoked that they liked it, and everyone's really appreciative and like liked how great it came out. I was really happy with it.
It came out so good. You did such an amazing job. And Metzger and Steve really just owned the packaging part of it to make sure it looked and felt really nice and wonderful.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
And then Matt Goldberg did some really touching photography too.
Yeah, the package is incredible.
Yeah, it's so nice. And Matt's photography really captures like the father-son angle of it. There's a sweetness and tenderness to it too that, like, again, Amanda was such a lovely woman. She's such a great beating heart of the AEW internal family. She was naturally just bowled over and was trying not to cry the whole weekend, and so were we.
Yeah, I mean, I was holding back tears, like looking at the reveals. I was like, "There's no way! Like, this is so important." Again, yeah, bringing up Matt Goldberg, MBD 1211, his photos that he took for that pack, like, was super heartwarming, like very touching as well. So yeah, and that sold out like very quickly as well on Ringside too. Like, I was surprised. Like, it'd be such a collector's item, and it feels like it feels special, and it means so much to these wrestling fans as well. So yeah, I'm very excited to get this piece. Another thing with FanFest is we saw a little banana, look in my eyes. You know, first, what do you see? Have you seen Living Color, Greg?
I saw them. I saw them.
Oh, you.
I saw them at the Ritz. I saw them at the Ritz in 1990, and I saw them at Lollapalooza 1991 with Susie and the Banshees, Nine Inch
Oh
Nails,
my
Butthole Surfers, Jane's Addiction. I feel like there was somebody else there too. Oh, Ice-T and Body Count.
dude,
Nice.
Butthole Surfers. I haven't
1991.
heard that name in so long, and I'm so glad you brought it up. But Jesus, man.
Oh, and Rollins Band. Rollins Band played too.
I only know that song
Oh,
because
cool. Oh my god.
that
But
song was in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's the only reason I know it. Remember that?
I remember San
Re-emphasizing
Andreas.
that Magic is young and Greg is old.
Yeah. All I remember from San
San
Andreas
Andreas
is
is
just that
pretty old
opening
now.
theme, you know? The boom, the opening theme to that, but we're not here to talk about GTA, okay, guys? Let's not derail this with CM Punk. His first official AEW figure's first figure in what, 7-8 years? And was it just like you got in the line especially so fast since he only debuted in August, and now what? It's set to come out in June. How good's that turnaround time?
It's a little insane.
Mhm.
I haven't changed my whiteboard in my office since we wrote down what that battle plan would be. Partly because we weren't in the office a whole lot around that time, but also I look at it and go, we just showed that figure at FanFest, and I remember writing this plan on the whiteboard with Magic there, going, "How are we going to do this? Can we do it by June? Can we do it by June?" And Adam Big Beard going, "I don't know, guys." And then Magic going, "I think we can. I think we can." And we did it.
How was it for you, Magic, to work on it?
It was awesome because he's slightly older now. Like, to make it as fresh and like badass as like his previous ones. I don't know. I think like he's such a cool look. He has such a cool like style to him. Like, it's really easy to make him look good. It's really easy to do it. Well, not easy, but like he's cool. He does like the figure does the work itself. Like him being who he is. So I was really excited. Like, first one coming back. So we're getting a lot of firsts. So we're kind of really overwhelmed with like first times. I think I'm numb to it now.
When I saw the head with the smirk expression, man, I lost it. Like, you nailed that one. It's so him. That little knowing CM Punk smirk. Like, he doesn't have to say I'm better than you and you know it, like MJF does. All he has to do is do that smirk, and you get that same message from him. And you almost like, thank you, sir. You're right, sir.
Yeah.
You're on your hands and knees, like bowing down. Yes, sir. Yes. But was it also a no-brainer to have CM Punk be the chase, get a second figure out there as soon as possible?
Absolutely. Yeah. And we got lucky that he decided to wear the retro trunks like immediately.
Yeah.
So we got a second look like pretty close. Because there's like a lot of time like with the planned stuff. So once like things are planned and set in stone, we can't really go back. So there's been so many times where wrestlers wore in a different gear, like 2 weeks after we want to change it so bad with the week. There's no time and it's already cooked.
Yeah.
So we have to keep going with it. So we got really lucky. He decided to wear that second look like early on. So we got another figure of him.
Yeah, that's gonna be a sought after one as well, especially CM Trunks, man. He's gonna be very sought after. I can't wait for the long boys too. That's gonna be fantastic. But is it gonna
Wait, are we
be?
talking about a drag? Are we talking about a Dragon Ball collaboration? CM Trunks?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I would be down for that. I'd
All
love
right.
to see fan art of that if the CM
On the-
Trunks is out there.
On the heels of the Street Fighter collaboration, CM Trunks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll get into the Street Fighter stuff as well because that's super exciting. But when it comes to fast tracking talent, is it going to be sort of a thing we see regularly, or was CM Punk like, okay, this was if we're going to do it anytime, it's this?
There's an appetite to always deliver the best soonest, and there's also a strategy to go, hey man, we're gonna get there. We want every wave to be meaningful, and then we kind of have a dialogue internally, and then with AEW to go, there's some really great talent who's been in the pipeline waiting for their first figure or maybe their best figure because they had one once before. How do we then strategically slip in the new priorities? I think we have a good cadence with them on establishing that. I think we make generally good recommendations because they trust us, but every now and then they will go, listen, this one's going to be a heat seeker. Definitely, let's get this lad or lass in as fast as possible. And we're going to do whenever our next reveals are, we're going to do a nice comprehensive, holy crap, next 9 to 10 months of maybe even 12 months of reveals. And I think you'll see how that methodology plays out because naturally, you've seen, we sent Hook, at the last Fan Fest. When Bryan Danielson's coming out, you see how we can weave these folks in, but still get, hey, Private Party and people who've been really waiting and chomping at the bit to have a figure for a while.
And are you excited to work on these, Magic? Like, as they come out, when you see a new talent arise, you're like, are you straight to thinking, okay, I can't wait to design them? For Jeff Hardy, for example, I can't wait to see that AEW figure when it comes out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I did a Jeff Hardy before, mentioned it somewhere in my stories, but at Mattel, I did a WrestleMania 2-pack with him and Edge from like
with the
WrestleMania
red
17.
hair?
That was like one of the
Yeah, I
one of the
remember
first
that.
things I ever worked on that got out. So yeah,
That's cool.
So I'm excited to do another one.
Yeah,
Magic,
cool.
we haven't talked today, but I have a funny thing for you from last night. I was talking to the Adventures in Collecting guys last night while the Hardy Boys match was happening live on Dynamite, and I can't remember which one of them said it, but they went, "Oh, look, his first match in AEW, he's wearing the same gear as his last Mattel Elite figure," and I went,
Yeah.
"Damn it!" And they went, "No, we want to see Magic's version of it. Let's do a 1-to-1 comp," and I was like, "Oh boy." That's like that time Kanye and 50 Cent put an album out on the same day. Does the world really need that? Can't we just kind of put one album out one week and do the next one the following week? Like, part of me's competitive and wants to see that too, and then another part of me wants to go, listen, guys, we could do his next outfit. I bet. I don't know. Magic. I put that in your hands and mind. Let's see how you feel about it.
That's kind of funny. I mean, it's like a kind of a cool challenge. But I honestly I like the debut look with the no face paint. Like I feel like he hasn't not worn face paint in a while. It's good just to see his face.
If you guys caught Rampage, he came out with the kind of fishnet long sleeve, which we don't see much in wrestling figures. So personally, that's the one I'm kind of rooting for. But again, I'm excited. It's Jeff freaking Hardy, dude. He's like my top favorite. I'm gonna get every figure, even if it's a one of one. I don't care. I'll have it in my hands. All right, it's mine forever. But a new thing. A brand new thing. Supremes, dude. Hello.
Unrivaled Supreme.
Unrivaled Supremes. Sorry.
Unrivaled Supreme.
Yeah. I'm thinking of chicken Supremes and stuff. I'm kind of hungry. I won't lie. So yeah, Unrivaled Supremes. No chicken Supremes here. Magic, do you now work on these Supreme figures as well that we saw at FanFest? They're kind of more articulated, more accessories and everything like that. Do you have your hands all over this?
I do, in fact. And they're also pinless. Forgot to mention that. and have interchangeable legs
Endless.
and hands and heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like a really, I was more excited about that than anything to do pinless joints. Hoping we can do
Yeah.
that for everything eventually.
Yeah. Would
My
that
personal wish.
would you put pinless joints in like the normal Unrivaled line going forward, or is this something to look forward to with the Unrivaled Supremes?
There's been a couple challenges, and I think if they get through it, but I honestly think we probably could in the future. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to.
We're constantly wanting to evolve and improve. If we can improve something at a higher price point, and then eventually that methodology or that production capability and that design desire can then filter down to a lower price point SKU to give that value to the regular unrivaled and unmatched, that would be a wonderful goal for sure. We'll see.
Yeah. So with these new Unrivaled Supremes as well, how did the idea for them sort of come about? How did you get like the idea for the talent that you have in these lines? Like, was it like a no-brainer to be like, let's say like Kenny maybe? I don't know. Like, is it hard to kind of tackle that, or and what kind of brought the inspiration to do this line?
I don't know the exact like inspiration for it because I think one of the project or Dave Jackson when he was with us. Wait, Greg, did you and Dave Jackson come up with the Supremes? I can't remember how it went.
We talked about how to up the game and how to do something that's one level marquee. And yeah, Dave, thanks for shouting Dave Jackson out on that. He was our great brand manager for a good while last year. Wrestling fan too. Worked at WWE. Worked at Mattel. Great guy. And yeah, the idea there was how do you capture, how do you retain what we've captured unmatched and unrivaled, but then evolve it so that it all lives in the same world and still looks great together and doesn't in any way come at the expense of unrivaled or unmatched. We've seen what our competitors were doing, and we also were students of the game when it comes to we were looking at Figmas and Nendoroids, over in Japan, and we were looking at some of the nascent brands that aren't quite at mass, but also have $40 deluxe figures. And we take a lot of pride in the fact that Jazzwares, I think, right now is one of the best action figure companies at mass in the world right now. We've got that kind of boutique toy company specialty approach to things, but we also have so many capabilities that a mass company has that smaller companies don't. And I think it's a really perfect blend and harmony. And we want to see that Supreme is Unrivaled Supreme is kind of that example of it, right? It shows what we're capable of from a specialty standpoint, but it's done at mass with mass quality and mass distribution.
Fantastic. Yeah, is this going to be like an exclusive to anywhere, or is it going to be like kind of mass retail? You'll see it everywhere.
We've pitched it to everybody. We expect that all of our partners that support us on Unrivaled and Unmatched so far will have it, which is good. Doesn't mean we can't offer exclusive versions or exclusive variants for partners that want to lean into something a little more special for themselves. But we want it to be a hit. We want it to be a hit everywhere. So we're actively shipping it wherever we can. But you had asked about the creative selections as far as what talent, right? I mean, Magic had some definite inspiration and thoughts on that for sure from the day one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. The Cody, when we saw him in Double or Nothing 2021, like that Cody was wearing was just so immaculate and like incredible. Like that's what I knew we probably wouldn't be able to do that in a regular line for $20. So when Dave and Greg came up with the Supreme line, like that immediately was the first thing that came to mind. And I feel like it really was like all encompassing of a next level higher grade. But yeah, just seeing like the detail put into that attire. But yeah, we met Sandra Gray, who's the AEW seamstress. We met her backstage at Revolution, and she showed us like the thing. It was incredible, and she's like so talented. So it's really cool to go to make that to a figure and actually do it right and do it justice and get all the detail and get all that ornate like stuff in there. It's pretty cool.
And then when you look at Malachi, right? Like his entrance is so dramatic and so well costumed and so theatrical. It goes back then to like how we talk about we don't ever want to at no point do we devalue unrivaled or unmatched, but at the same time you can only put so much stuff in there for that price point, right? Our job there is for the company to make money for the company and make sure that we earn our salaries, but we try to stuff unrivaled and unmatched with as much stuff as we can give you. Sometimes we can't, and to not do certain characters 100% justice, it bugs us too as collectors and as figure geeks. So Unrivaled Supreme gives us a chance to go, okay, you could put out a certain Malachi in Unmatched or Unrivaled, But think of the one that you're going to get, and you saw the example at FanFest, what you can get out of Unrivaled Supreme. Like, you can get full on multiple looks. The joke I keep making, and it's a realistic joke, is like, depending on the figure, you can get anywhere between 2.5 to 3 different figures with one literal purchase, depending on how many heads, legs, and outfits are in the box. That's amazing value for the dollar. $40 US, that's tremendous. And I think we're proud of how that over delivers at a price point than what you're seeing out there from, other folks.
It's good because like this Kenny, this Malachi, this Britt, they're like, once you see these, you're like, okay, well, if I don't get any more of this talent, I'm set, because this is such like, it's like your highness, it's like the big grandiose sort of figure as well. Like the Kenny, one of my favorite figures I've seen, like from any reveals, especially at Jazzwares set of reveals. Like these are one of my favorites. Malachi as well is up there, so I'm very excited to get these in hand finally in my little grubs.
When we
not the go ahead.
What Magic?
I'll say hope it's not the last figures you get of these.
Yeah, seriously, come on, Nick.
We'll get more into a little bit of Malachi and a little bit. Yeah,
we need to take it down a little bit.
But we teased the packaging on screen. We obviously didn't have any samples on hand there. Oh, Shoyo's going nuts. Hey, I'm gonna squirt him with the squirt gun if he gets bad. But when you see us next in a live forum, you're gonna see how gorgeous the packaging is and how it really achieves everything that we wanted to of showing off and showcasing the figure, but not putting the dog's breakfast in the main blister window, which is there's a figure off to the left and a bunch of legs floating around, and here's some heads, and here's some hands just kind of sitting there. There's a presentation, there's storytelling in the package and in the way that they're going to look at you on the shelf. And when you get them home, and if you don't want to open it up, the way you put it on your shelf. It's not packaging as function, it's packaging as art and function. And I love our packaging team for what they're doing right now. And if you got a glimpse of it in the presentation, awesome. If you want to see more, just set your watch for like a month or two from now, and you'll see.
Speaking about like reveals and stuff like that, Double or Nothing is going to be coming up fairly shortly, in a couple months maybe. Are we planning to drop any reveals between now and then?
It's a big crescendo to be there. My hope is that we're there in person, but whatever crazy reason we're not, we'll definitely celebrate that weekend with everybody by doing some really fun stuff. We cadenced out what we showed at FanFest in deference to what we knew we could also then do at Double or Nothing or Double or Nothing adjacent. So we've got a lot of stuff cooking to show you. It would be, I'd say, I talked about scaling up before. It would be a scaled up version of what we just did in Orlando. Well, and at that point of the year, we can give you essentially a sense of everything's coming out for the rest of the year, so you can kind of set your budget for pre-sales for holiday, maybe holiday gifts and whatnot. So we'll take you all the way through December into January easily.
Fantastic, great! I can't wait. Let's talk more about these reveals from FanFest. And one that caught my eye was the whole line of Unmatched 6. Just one in particular. There's a ton of great reveals. We can only talk about so many today, but Unmatched 6. Before we talk about the big kind of crescendo of the set, let's talk about there was like a little video that Greg, you were hosting. We saw Ringside Collectibles do a live stream, and you were going through all the reveals that we were seeing, and there's two that popped up on screen that caught my eye. It was Mr. Brody Lee and Malachi, but they weren't in wrestling gear, they were in suited gear. Can we expect to see more sort of promo attires? Because we've seen these promo attires from these last reveals as well. We'll get into that a little bit later, but are these going to be promo? Please, give me the news, the breaking news.
Well, let's put it this way. Maybe we keep the guessing game going. Sometimes when we do reveals, we can do it with like either like a gray model or a paint master or 3D, and sometimes we just use talent photography. But you hit on something important and curious there. One of those guys could be in, promo gear. Both of them could be. I won't say neither of them will be, but keep an eye out. And I think in the next set of reveals, you'll probably see the evolution of those, AEW photography examples we was in the wave. And then, what's the figure really looking like? But you've hit on something interesting there. Okay. And naturally, of course, in the cabinets you saw too, there was indeed Cody, with his wool jacket and suit, his top coat and suit. So you see we're getting into those, which is nice.
Yeah.
And the Kenny Omega with the suit. That's my favorite.
Oh, dude, let's talk about all of that.
his heel jerk outfit, which we
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, so Unmatched 4, we saw Hangman and Cody. Hangman had like, a nice little kind of cowboy-ish sort of shirt on, in his what is it, ostrich skin boots as well. Cody in this great like woolen suit attire that we saw when they first like was it that first like press conference they did as AEW, like at the MGM Grand and stuff like that. So those are cool little tidbits, and that Kenny as well that we mentioned as well, the heel Kenny. Is this a thing looking forward that we can, I don't know, look forward to seeing more often?
I think so. I feel like we do so many of these things that have never been done for him, especially with that Kenny. I don't feel like we're ever going to see him wearing that blazer again. But like that was such a great moment in time. It's such like memorable skit, and I just love his hair and that little top knot thing he did. Like he looks so great. Like he looked like the biggest heel. It was awesome.
The way he and Matt and Nick have adapted their physical forms to their characters, I think we saw the next evolution of that too with Jericho in last night's promo too for Jericho Appreciation Society. Notice how his hair was kind of flat ironed. He's clearly been getting ready for this new angle because he lost a shit ton of weight. God bless him. I'm jealous. I got to learn whatever his secrets are. I'm gonna guess it's not keto. And um, I love when the guys take on physical transformations to help further their personas. It's so cool. The classic example of it is, Hulk having like the darker handlebars and, looking more like a biker badass than the red and yellow, goofball that he was when he first went to WCW. That's fun because obviously selfishly we can make new figures of it because of it, but it just invests us so much more in the storytelling. Like Matt and Nick always had like a, yeah, look at us kind of thing, but by leaning into the Air Dior's and the rhinestones and and Nick like turning into Mr. Biker Man facial hair, like he's like a reject extra from Sons of Anarchy, but in shiny sequins. It just makes you hate them more, or not hate them, but definitely buy into them being dicks.
Yeah.
So kudos to them, and kudos to them for making us give them more action figures as a result.
I really love their dyed beards. I think that's like the best touch that they keep dyeing their beards different colors. Like
Nick Jackson
bleached
did that
it
whole
or
WCW Hogan thing that you were talking about, Greg.
They're mega talents. They're just as good as heels as they are faces. And sometimes, Stone Cold struggled with that for years, right? People loved him because he was a heelish. And then when they tried to go back to heel at one point, it didn't work. It didn't feel right. And the fans didn't accept it. They rejected it. And they kept force fitting in. It didn't really work well. That doesn't mean Austin wasn't talented. It just meant Austin was such an upper echelon persona that we needed him to be Austin, whatever that meant and however we defined it. But that Matt and Nick and Kenny were able to slip into the dark side with such attitude. Love those guys. Like they're the foundation of the company, and they've evolved with the company as opposed to being but we're Matt and Nick. We should do what we want to do. They're great.
Yeah, another thing we saw in the cabinets at FanFest, there, I'm really surprised that this was honestly like a thing that was possible even in the pipeline. I would never thought of seeing this, but there's been a Capcom collaboration with Jazzwares, not only Jazzwares but AEW. We've seen it with the shirts. There's been different shirt designs with Capcom and Street Fighter kind of characters on it, and now we're seeing it in the Jazzwares line as a part of Unrivaled, I guess. Just the figure line in general. We saw Kenny, Matt, and Nick from. Oh god, you guys will help me on when they debuted this. It was like Fighter Fest or something like that. But they came out in Street Fighter gear. Kenny with the red hair, Matt and Nick Jackson in like the karate kind of get up as well. It was fantastic. Tell me a little bit of how you guys were able to secure this, and was it a part of that whole AEW partnership with the shirts and everything like that?
It was separate from the shirts, but the shirts looking as cool as they did and selling as well as they did helped validate that the gamer and the wrestling fan are very in the Venn diagram of things. There's a lot of overlap. A lot of us are gamers. A lot of us are wrestling fans. And to have those worlds meaningfully exist. I mean, Kenny is a top level video game personality. My kids knew who he was before AEW because they knew he was a Mega Man guy and he was a Capcom guy. So it's a very holistic, sincere partnership. And then the ability to do figures like that was just such a cool idea that we just kind of worked at it for a while, got to know the Capcom folks, worked with them to collaborate, and then put these three figures out to kind of kick off like what would a video game and AEW crossover look like, and what a great retailer to showcase it. But GameStop, it's what they do for a living. They love wrestling. The buying team there, who's in charge of merchandising and taking all the great stuff and putting it on shelves for you guys, they are AEW fans and wrestling fans through and through. So again, having an enthusiastic partnership like that, plus the perfect content to mix together, and then put that in the hands of the team. It was an exciting one that we were keeping very under wraps for a while, and it was fun to show it off.
Magic designing these beautiful boys, these three beautiful guys. How was it?
Actually, I was gonna say I didn't actually work on these. Another member of our team did. Really talented dude. He used to work at Toy Biz back in the day as well. He used to do a bunch of Marvel Legends, do a lot of stuff. Really great guy. Really great stuff.
Shout out to Ray.
I was able to Ray. Yeah, he doesn't like being shouted out for some reason. I didn't want to say his name. Anyway.
Well, I speak his name. I speak your name, Ray.
But yeah, so he was doing a really good job. You'd be able to see it every step of the way. It's getting excited about it every time he'd show me the new updates and show new soft goods and show me the new how it was coming out. I was getting stoked because I've been wanting to do this figure for a long time. Yeah, it looked really good. So I'm glad it's all came to fruition. I'm glad Capcom signed off. I'm glad AEW signed off. I'm glad it's being made. I'm really happy. I'd be happy if I was working on it, but it's coming out amazing. And I can't this package. The packages look incredible too. The whole thing's gonna be really cool.
Cool. I'm really excited for it. Speaking of something, okay, going off on something else. Let's go back to Unmatched 6 because I can't believe I skimmed over this, but there is going to be a luminary, one certain luminary in this line, and I'm smiling from ear to ear just thinking about it. It is the first official Owen Hart figure in 20 years, and this is I don't know if that's right or not, but it feels like it. It feels like this is long overdue, and this is so special. We heard this partnership. Maybe I'd like to say October, maybe around then, September, who knows. We heard this partnership with the Hart Foundation, the Hart family, and I looked on the thing. It said merchandise, including figures. A lot of people didn't think this was gonna happen. A lot of people thought this was an impossibility that we'd never see, and now we're finally gonna see it on Unmatched 6. How important and how special is it to you guys to work on Owen Hart?
It's a heavy crown to wear. I think this is gonna be of all of them that have been super challenging, I feel like this is probably the one with the most pressure behind it because there's so much built up demand and expectation for it, and he's so beloved, and everyone is so eager for this figure that I'm actually really excited that we're working with Martha Hart and getting her feedback on everything and getting her critiques on the sculpt and getting her buy-off before we do anything, because without it, I'd feel a lot less confident in this, but it's coming out amazing. I'm really excited for it. It's probably going to be one of the highest profile figures, I think. And I'm super, super excited to be able to work on it and glad. It's another feather in the cap. But yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I can't speak to when in the chronology because I don't want to give too much inside baseball, but Magic and I got pulled into it really early in the process where there wasn't even a confirmed, hey, we're going to do a figure. Can you make it look good? It was more if we did a figure, let's show them what we're made of. So they go, wow, you guys are definitely working with the right people and the right partners. He set to work on it, I think within a matter of weeks. And it was during some other really hectic time too. I'm remembering too, we were very spread thin with a bunch of projects, but still pulled it off. And the initial concept renders, all freehanded, right? They were breathtaking. It was so good. And again, this was all the hard work of AEW and Martha Hart, but the fact that we could contribute in some way to that to help hopefully make that decision or at least influence the decision, that makes us proud. And now the next phase is, as Magic says, to make everyone else proud by putting out a great figure.
Great, fantastic to hear. I can't wait for this figure, and I just know it's gonna touch the wrestling figure community in such a way. It warms my heart that this is a possibility. We get to, and especially AEW as well, just in general with the partnership, having the Owen, a tournament where people can show off their technician skills, their wrestling skills, everything, and it's so beautiful to think about. Kind of going off of that topic as well, heading back to FanFest, there was some talent there that actually got to see their figures for the first time. Jade Cargill, Malachi Black as well. Britt Baker seeing her new like Supreme line figure and everything like that, Unrivaled Supreme. How cool
Thank
is
you.
it to see the talent? Yeah, of course. How cool is it to see the talent and their reaction? One that sticks out to me is Aubrey Edwards at Double or Nothing, and Ricky Starks as well, man. Such a beautiful guy, such a beautiful dude. I love these
He
figures that are
really
coming
is.
out of him. Yeah. How was his reaction as well in particular? How was Jade's? How was Malachi?
This is my favorite picture.
Yeah,
She's-
that was like such a great moment.
She's
Thunder Rosa-
literally moved, and she's like hugging into Magic's chest with tears in her eyes. She's so
Yeah,
impacted and so sincerely happy about it.
yeah.
Can't describe that feeling, right?
We shared a very prolonged hug, and it was very emotional for both of us. She started crying. I was sort of convinced my shirt was gonna be full of like the makeup because it was that long.
It's
Yeah,
a Nick Storm exclusive. You're listening to Nick Storm exclusive.
look at that.
Can I use you to doing that every episode?
I had a voice reel back when I was at MTV. I had a voice reel, sadly and hilariously enough.
Man, this is beautiful.
You sound like
man.
you could be an MTV voice.
Now she's looking at her chase, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's the main line and the chase. We revealed both of them to her, and she was so stoked. And like now that she's a champion, and she's like the first Mexican-born female AEW champion, and I think first Mexican-born female wrestler toy. I don't know if ever, but probably one of very few. Like it's just so awesome. It's really cool to like represent that and be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that new title as well, you guys are gonna have fun designing that. I know it's such a cool looking title too. Can't wait to see whenever that comes into figure form. Probably maybe with Thunder Rosa. Who knows? The next Thunder Rosa Elite. Not Elite. Oh my god.
What is going on here?
Wow.
Now you can't blame Zoom for that one, Nick.
Wow.
Guys, Zoom
Hold on.
messed with my audio. I said Elite.
No. I'm calling Steve Ozer right now.
Don't
That's
you
it.
dare!
Yeah.
Don't you dare! What if he just pops in and he's like, "I was here the whole time." He's rewiring my brain to say elite.
Calling him.
Don't
Calling
you dare!
him.
Call him.
Don't
You
dare.
call Bill, Magic.
I'll call Bill.
I'm
He's probably gonna be happy he did it. Like, yeah, he's playing along finally.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Nick
is
gets
all.
a check in the mail.
He knows
A
his
check,
butters.
a check spelled with Q-U-E,
His bread.
though, of course, because he's Australian.
This is all. This is gonna be some like blooper out special outtake episode. This is gonna be completely fucked, and I love it. Where was I?
You're listening to Nick Storm's Scuff Review.
Oh, I don't even know where we're at. Let me read my notes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, your producer's notes, meaning the stuff that you wrote while you were sat on the toilet this morning.
Hey, man. My producer wrote Elite. All right, I'll blame it on him.
Hold on. Grab something really quick while we're.
All right. What'd you get,
You
man?
see my stack of stuff? Sure, I saw you guys are both wearing glasses. I felt kind of left out. Wanted to wear these for the remainder of the interview.
Good, because you weren't flashy enough.
I couldn't be happier right now. This is fantastic.
Hey, what'd you say, Greg? It wasn't what? You cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
You didn't look flashy enough as it was. Now you got to go over the top.
I'm kind of disappointed none of you mentioned that I'm wearing a sequin jacket right now.
Because you're
I-
always wearing
Dodgers
something
sequin
like
jacket.
that.
That's what
That's
Elton
not,
John.
that's not surprising.
Yeah.
It's really loud.
I
was
kind
trying
of
to not move so
expect
much.
something like that, like a sequence jacket from Magic Olmos. So it kind of worked out. I didn't mention it for that reason, but let me try to get back on track and get you guys out of here in time. Because
Will it make sense canonically for me to be wearing these just randomly? Or should I put them on again?
You should keep those on. Don't
Keep 'em,
even second guess it.
I have to lean back more if I wear this stuff.
just answer everything like, yeah, whatever, man. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
Yeah.
it's cool, I guess. I mean, Orange Cassidy has
It's fun.
someone to compete with now.
Yeah, Joey Janela is leaving a void in AEW that Magic is all too willing to fill.
But yeah, obviously Jade Cargill, seeing her first figure for the first time was really special. You know, she talked about, oh, my daughter's gonna love this, which is great. You guys are impacting like kids' lives, which is crazy. Working on a toy line, Greg, you kind of touched on this in the Ringside Collectibles interview with Tom Sanford. Shout out Tom. No Hungry Jacks for you. But you kind of touched on this, how like you're kind of making like core memories for children all around the world, which is kind of crazy to think. And how I don't know, it's just really cool to see Jay's reaction to it and just think of her daughter instantly.
Yeah, it's again, it's there's no overstating how magical and nice and human it is to be able to relate to people who had dreams and worked their way to get to where they are in wrestling, and now to have that milestone moment of either their first or 100th action figure if you're Cody or Jericho. But to be touched in that way, and for us to have any involvement in that whatsoever, it makes it such a special and important brand to work on for us. I even feel weird using the word brand because that's very corporate sounding. There's nothing corporate at all about making small little plastic people that look just like they're human and watching their human basically just melt. It's such a sweet thing. We love it.
Yeah, that's one thing I think it's really special about wrestling figures is like they're real people. Like Greg alluded to, like it's not Batman who's just a mythical character. It's like a real person and someone who has dreams and who's worked hard to get where they're at. And like this is like a stepping stone, a milestone for a lot of these people. And it kind of like really cements their places, like making it. It's like have done something. And like here's the proof. Like I can always go back and show my grandma, like, look I made it this far. They made a freaking figure of me.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I've shown multiple Red Rangers their action figures, and invariably, if not the first, and at least the second question they ask is like, could you make one with my face? And I then of course go, probably not. And they're right, because yes, it's them on TV in the suit, but it's not the same thing as seeing like, their face and them. It's them, but not them. With wrestling figures,
is it them in the suit?
Well, it depends
Isn't
on
it
the foot. They do reshoot some of the
Power
footage,
Rangers conspiracy here, guys.
Yeah, they do use a lot of like the Super Sentai footage from Japan for sure. But when they do the shoots in New Zealand, they do sometimes reshoot with them in the costumes too, if there's a certain angle they wanted, or if there's a certain special effect they have a budget for, then they'll put the kids in the suits again. And naturally, they get all stoked. They see themselves in the suits, and they want action figures of them. This is different, obviously. This is AEW, baby.
Yeah, AEW, where dreams come true, if you will.
Really cool.
Jazzware is where dreams come true.
I feel like a kind of a weird special connection. Am I lagging so bad? Anyway, what I was going to say was I feel like a weird special connection just having come from Mattel doing WWE and then being let go, and then having stumbled upon doing AEW. I feel like a weird parallel between like some of the talent and some of the stuff AEW going on.
It's kind of a perfect storm that AEW came around for you, I guess, like, you get let go from WWE and then new rising wrestling company starts up, and oh well, look, they have a wrestling figure line that they're gonna issue out. I think it was like a perfect storm, no pun intended, obviously, but for you at least, Magic. So it's really cool to see you back in the game.
Well, I definitely have to give it up to Jeremy because he was like so on board with AEW from day one. Like when I first saw like the rumors of AEW being like not even announced, but like All Elite Wrestling bought up by Khan family, like there's rumors in the like trades. I showed Jeremy. And he like immediately jumped on it and found out and tracked everyone down and like made it happen. And I was super, super happy, like super excited. Like that was literally the best thing that could have happened to me.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things he enticed me to leave the job I was at to come join Wicked Cool Toys. Like it was like a download thing. He's like, look, we just signed Halo. We just signed a deal with Hasbro to bring back Micro Machines, which hasn't been in the market in 20 years. He goes, and I can't promise you this, but we're doing everything humanly possible to get back into wrestling. I was like, what? And if it wasn't for those magic words and me willing to take a pay cut to go work at WCT, me and Magic would never have gotten to work together.
What is this, Jazzwares After Dark, dude? This is hilarious.
Because the office was so small.
That was wicked cool. This is Wicked Cool Toys lore. So that was the first year they actually had Pokemon still. So like that was the year they like bam, they worked so hard for 3 or 4 years before that to put themselves in a place where they could A, make money, B, sign huge licenses, and C, attract the talent and the coworkers they had through the years. I was blessed to work, just even peripherally near Jeremy and Michael Rinsler and Gerhard Runken over at Jack's. That's how you build your teams. And Jeremy had the foresight naturally to make it happen, and he put me and Magic together, which I'm going to call that one of his best decisions, at least top 10 best decisions he's ever made.
I agree. And buying act.com.
Yes, that was also a good choice on his part.
I think the top 10 decision he could ever make is come onto the Nick Storm Chatting Storm podcast. But hey, that's not neither here nor there. Getting myself over, guys. Put in a good word, I swear. But no.
When he watches the professional mastery of this episode in particular, he's gonna knock on your door, do it in studio in person with you. Are you kidding?
Yeah, especially with all
Gonna
his
fly you out.
with all his elite figures that Jesus Christ. Anyway,
Nick will be like, you can sit in my studio with me, but we're still gonna do it on Zoom. You know, that authentic scuffed feel.
Exactly. That's the Nick Storm touch. You know, Magic has the magic touch. Everyone he touches turns to figures. You know, it just happens, and I have the scuffed touch, which is great. But going back on Jade Cargill and everything, we see her attire. It's a nice gold. I think Magic, you stated that it's going to be a nice shiny gold when it kind of finishes. Who kind of like finalizes what attire shows up in whatever line, and who kind of like sets it up? Do you guys kind of all band together and go, well, this attire that he wore in Dynamite, or but this attire they wore at the pay-per-view? How does that come together?
There's definitely a lot of strategic planning behind it, and like trying to be smart about things, and like if there's a chase and stuff, how to incorporate it and make two figures from one. But if we all do it as a team, mostly I'll have a lot of ideas and we'll present them with the brand team. We'll talk it out and see what people like.
Greg, what are you doing? Hey man, that'd be $50, please.
I'm taking a picture of the rock and roll wizard as he speaks.
What?
You look like some like I can't place it. You've got like this really cool like intergalactic rock and roll wizard thing going with the jacket and the glasses. Like if Dimebag Daryl ever went glam and Pantera took a different direction, that's the vibes I'm getting here.
Glam rock Pantera.
I think it doesn't help that I just realized I got my colored lights on.
So it helps absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? And there's a glow in the dark freaking creature from the
Alien.
Black Lagoon behind you or whatever. This is going on Instagram
The lights
right
wasn't
now.
as apparent. I'm gonna show my mom. My mom would be really happy to see. Shout it out, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
Yeah, we talk every day now.
Yeah. Shout out Mona,
Greg's
dude.
part of my family now. It's pretty cool.
Well, I'll be slowly joining the Olmos family.
Too?
Yeah, Mona messages me all the time about the Hardys recently, which is great. So your mum is over with everyone now. But
forget Sue's mom. We got Magic's mom.
Exactly.
Sue's mom.
Yeah.
Sue's van. Sorry, I messed that joke up. But it was Zoom. It was the lag.
Yeah. It was. Let's blame everything on
Sue's
Zoom.
van. It's Magic's mom elite. Wait, no, that's not it either. Damn it.
Supreme.
Okay, we're talking about everything. We've talked about figures, CM Punk, Jade Cargill, Owen Hart. You know, we've talked about a lot. What kind of made this fan fest in retrospect different from all the ones we've seen in the past, and how are you gonna keep kind of skyrocketing and upping the playing field here?
Well, technically, I guess it was only our second one. Although I feel like Toy Fair 2020 was kind of a fan fest in a weird way, because we had all that action and activity in our booth. We had the wrestlers with us. We premiered the line. MJF made Magic kiss his ring. I have photographic evidence of that in the vault as well that I have not unleashed on the world.
That's good.
But no, I think again we're going to scale it up every time and try to do something new and different. That part of that will be the number of reveals. Hopefully, part of that will be even some of the activities we plan, for the day. AEW really leads the way in planning those events, and we've always offered ourselves as a value add to them. And because they trust us and because we love what we do so much, they know that they can tap us in for things, right? So at the first one, that was a collaboration to have the talent come down the entrance stage holding their wrestling buddies. And then, we thought, well, at one point, maybe we'd have, Amanda and Brody Jr. like in our booth. Well, that turned, thanks again to AEW's thinking, well, no, that's going to kick off the Fan Fest. You're going to do it in the ring in front of all the people who paid extra to be part of Fan Fest. Oh, okay. So just through their own creativity, their own planning, and also our, willing and ableness to execute, I think every time we do one of these, you'll see something new and shinier and cooler than the last time, just because why not? We should all grow together.
Yeah, I just like the figures are just getting better and better every time you show something. So I feel like it's just naturally getting better.
Yeah.
So every time we have something more new, exciting to show.
I mean, I
Yep.
agree, especially with all the
Definitely
new
helps.
talent too coming into AEW. Like, it keeps raising the bar for figures, for not even wrestling figures, but just action figures in general. I think you guys are raising the bar, like influencing like other lines. Taking influences in. I think it just helps build like the sort of whole business around it as well, which is really cool. But I'll get into some of this. So Magic, I want you to list some of your favorite figures that you've had the chance to design, and Greg, what are some of your favorites that you've seen from the unrivaled or unmatched line so far?
So from every single wave possible, Pentagon was the first favorite because again, I watched him wrestle so much. He was a dream, like to make. This new Malachi Supreme, it was kind of a late add to the Supreme wave, but we like threw him in. And I feel like he was perfect. Like I feel like he kind of stole the show. And then the next level, all the articulation, everything you want in a figure. And then he really just came together so well, and the head sculpts look amazing. He was up there too. Tay Conti was great, another first time in the line. Another Hispanic wrestler, Santana Ortiz. They're just amazing figures, amazing guys. Like when we met them, they're super nice. So I was so happy to get them in the line. Like everybody really, like it's hard to say like who's the favorite because I feel like every single one I've been involved with, I've been in love with. Like all of them are so good. And like I put so much passion and like care into each one instead of late working on numerous ones and like getting yelled at for whatever just to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
Like it's all been worth it. And it's like I love all of them.
Some quick notables for me. I loved Orange Cassidy from, was it wave 3 or 4? 3, right? That was the first. That was the first. That wave was great, and it was a real achievement for us too. I think Darby was also in that wave. We had just moved out of a rocky factory relationship that had done the first two, where Magic put his blood, life, and soul, and we did literally like 16-hour, 4 in the morning calls with China overseas on Zoom to make sure that things didn't go wrong. And then some of them turned out too pale, and so we ended up switching over to a different factory vendor. And the fact they nailed that wave, and that Magic was also able to convincingly engineer the Orange Cassidy pockets, that was a standout for me. So Darby and Orange Cassidy from that wave. And there's just the ones who we just so perfectly capture them. Like it's almost like spooky how good they are, like Wardlow. That one just blows my mind. And then all 3 Stings from Unmatched 2, the Walmart one, the Chase, and the regular core version, like best Sting figures possibly ever. Like they are so good. Those really stand out. Trying to think too. Yeah, I would agree with Ty. Anna Jay also just really good. Like we keep challenge ourselves to make sure that every female figure we do is not only realistic but also as pretty as possible. And I think we're making strides there too.
The Thunder Rosa one. I didn't work on Thunder Rosa, but she's amazing. I feel like she's one of the best figures we did.
Yeah.
Female or male.
That teeth-gritting head scan is incredible.
That question. Her and Ricky Starks were both just like, those are the ones where you look at, like, it's eerie how good they look.
Ricky Starks is fantastic. He's definitely one of my favorite like talents on screen lately. Like everything he's doing on TV is so great. Him and Team Taz, everything like that. Speaking of Team Taz, we're gonna have Team Taz like completely in the line. Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Will Hobbs, and even Taz, which I didn't think would happen. We're getting him in his managerial role, which is good. Have him on commentary. I think he's going to be one of my first official commentary figures, apart from my custom Nick Storm that I threw together hastily thanks to a John Morrison head sculpt. But yeah, so which is very exciting for me, and he'll be the Chase, right, on Unrivaled 10.
Yes.
I can't wait for that as well. Another kind of branching off that last question I asked as well. Magic, who are you most forward to or looking to work on from these new set of talent like signings and everything like that? And what are you most excited to see the final product of that can go for both you and Greg? The one I think is pretty obvious who I'm most excited for, but hey, it's definitely Nick Storm. It's don't pay attention to this. It's a Nick Storm figure. It's coming in unrivaled.
Nick Storm? It's gonna be a Nick Storm figure? What?
I love it. Yeah, but yeah, of course. Yeah, Magic. What are you looking forward to working on? Final product, Greg.
Well, honestly, there's so much stuff coming through. And like you guys just mentioned, Danhausen, like he is an action figure. Like he's gonna see him on the shelf, you're gonna want him and wonder what the heck this is. Like even if you have no idea what wrestling is, you're gonna see him and love him. And the same thing goes, like Malachi Black even said that about his figure.
Yeah.
Like I'm super excited for these to come to fruition. Like the Wave 2 Supremes are so much further down the road, and like we showed them pretty early, but like those are gonna be amazing. Yeah, there's so much good stuff to look forward to. Private Party, really excited to see how those come out. And there's so much more that not even announced yet.
Quick note, because I know we were both in different places during a lot of the weekend at FanFest. Isaiah definitely says, listen, I know you guys probably picked the outfits, but we can't wait to see what you pick. But we may have also suggestions too, because they're so into the idea of finally getting figures that they may want some input on what outfits they're wearing. So just forgot to tell you that because we haven't been in the office very much lately. So
yeah, you should definitely. You should definitely look at that quick sooner than later, I would say.
Yeah, so he doesn't get pushed out of the wave. We'll tell him that. Like, you can wear this outfit, or you can wait another 2 waves. They go, wear this outfit. My answer to that is kind of weird, but I don't know. It's because again, I marvel at what these guys do that I only dream and wish I could do. I can't wait to see how Magic and or Ray would approach Bryan Danielson. He's got such a unique face structure. Like he's a handsome, weird, ruggedly interesting looking guy. He's got lots of different like symmetry, like his brow and his nose. He's just a really interesting looking guy. I can't wait to see how he looks like in sculpt form. I've seen Mattel ones. I can't wait to see what these guys do with him. I'm not sure if he's an unmatched or an unrivaled Magic, so you have to tell me.
He's unmatched, and we actually just got a tooling model image of him, and he looks spectacular.
Yeah,
I wish I could show it, but you know.
Nice.
I mean, you could.
Breaks.
I mean, no, I'm kidding. I mean, look, I'm all here for it regardless. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we saw like a 3D render of that pretty recently at FanFest from the Unmatched line. Was it Unmatched 5? And he looks fantastic.
One thing I will say too is like we have a new body sculpt for him, and it's just awesome. Like I think something we never really mentioned is that we do unique bodies for a lot of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't do very much sharing. So like when you see a brand new Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, it's new. Like it's completely him. It's made to be him. It's not like we took one arm from this dude, this torso, this guy, and included them together. It's 100% Bryan Danielson.
We saw that with like the Trent figure, Chuck Taylor as well comes to mind with the unique torsos. So I can't wait to see those going forward as well. Taz,
everybody.
Yeah. Taz, we haven't seen Orange Cassidy or Darby Allin wearing that Taz torso, so definitely new.
Oh, Magic. Look, we've been giving Nick Storm exclusives. Just come clean. Tell him that you used the tooling for that Billy Joel figure we did at another company we worked at. Billy Joel live at Madison Square Garden.
Reached into the Joel hole, brought him out, and there's Taz.
I used to amuse myself singing Billy Joel songs, but in Taz's voice, just because I think as the older they both get, the more they kind of almost resemble each other. So what's the matter with the clothes that you're wearing? Don't you know that they're out of style?
I hope one day they just merge into one and become a sentient being together. But Greg and Magic,
you'll always be a woman to me.
Exactly that. This has been really fun so far. If you guys don't mind, do you guys want to go into a little bit of fan questions real quick to end it off here?
Oh my God, I thought those were the fan questions. Nick, what are you doing to us here?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm a false advertisement. But great. The first question here comes from Nitro Figs.
I feel like am I getting too dark over here?
Dude, it's getting too dark over here. Shadows, like the clouds are doing their own thing.
I realize like I'm blue and red completely now. Like I used to add some natural light coming in.
No, leave it, man. You look like a mystical wizard. Leave it.
Yeah,
okay.
It's so
Greg
great.
said it.
Greg said it. It looks fantastic. It adds to this, I don't even know what it is. This like Mission Impossible kind of Magic Olmos, It's like a investigative spy from the glam rock like 80s wave. So But
He looks like if Spencer's
I'll
Gifts,
take it.
the store, took human form right now.
Yeah, I see it.
All you need is an Insane Clown Posse poster in the back, and you're done. You're set.
Repping that ICP.
With
But
that real feel ICP.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, first question comes here from Nitro Figs. I don't know if you guys have heard this discussion about the doors or wheels debate. Are there more doors or are there more wheels in the world? And Nitro Figs comes in here with the question: are you guys team doors or team wheels?
I've never heard that, but I feel like I need to think about it.
I'm utterly confused, but my answer to any question like this is I will take the 10,000 rats. 10,000 rats wins any battle. 10,000 rats could eat their way through the doors. 10,000 rats could form a wheel and roll over and eat you. So yes, that's I'm going with the 10,000 rats.
I'm gonna say there's more wheels because I'm just thinking about it. I feel like more people have wheels than have doors.
When you think about it, car doors, that kind of adds up.
Oh crap!
Yeah, it's
Car doors.
endless possibilities.
But houses don't have wheels, so think of how many doors there are in houses and no wheels. So how much are you evening out there? I hate that you even make me answer this question. How dare you?
I'm so glad you finally.
How dare
caved.
you, Nitro Figs?
You finally caved and answered the doors, wheels.
I'm going. I think it's wheels because there's wheels in machinery. There's wheels in like tons of stuff that aren't, and there's just doors and houses, cars, and things to get inside. I'm 100% wheels.
And also,
the more I think about it,
and also the factories that have the machines that are run by wheels. So don't forget that.
Yeah, your watch has a wheel. Your
10,000
have
rats.
wheels.
Your Heelys have wheels. That should honestly win the debate. 10,000 rats. Magic's going with wheels. Great question. Thanks, Nitro, for the question. This next one comes
what an appropriate question for this podcast. Like how it's just a free for all today. So you might as well.
This is free for all. This isn't a question about figures. This is a question about God knows. Now it's doors and wheels. So it's been great fun so far. Next question comes in here from Kyrie Joe. Saying, will we ever see Ring of Honor versions of Talent? I know this is now a possibility since TK, Big Tony Khan, has bought the rights to, or not bought the rights, sorry, bought Ring of Honor, not only the rights, but the whole company. Is this a possibility?
The rights, the left, the wrongs, the everything.
Yeah, because we could kind of see this in like Luminaries, I feel like, or even like if this does go through with Jazzwares, like a whole Ring of Honor line. Is this sort of something you guys are looking forward to getting into?
The possibilities are not yet defined, but they are endless and really exciting. So we are actively listening and speaking to everyone we need to see what TK wants to do with the brand and how we can help support and elevate. So
it'd be really cool to see CM Punk from Revolution, this past Revolution. You know, he's got the kind of Ring of Honor trunks on. I'm sure you could even work that into a regular and match without the Ring of Honor sort of partnership, which I'm really excited for. Obviously, been a big fan of Punk. Went back and watched a lot of his Ring of Honor matches. Magic, that'll probably be really fun for you to work on, I imagine, as well.
Yeah, that's been incredible. Something like that. If we do get the Ring of Honor rights, so just give them a swappable head, and you got 2 in 1.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's actually perfect. Yeah. Yeah, to do like the long blonde hair or something like that, that'd be great. Thank you for the question. Next one comes in here from My Damn Toys, and he wants to know, do you guys check out any figure reviews for like constructive criticism, any on YouTube? Do you guys, in your meantime, you see, let's see how people are reacting to this certain figure that just released? Do you guys look up YouTube videos or reviews on that? What do you guys do with that?
Most definitely.
I feel like My Damn Toys is looking fishing for compliments here. Who knows? I've talked to him.
I also go to him for figure reviews. I don't even go to myself anymore for them. I go to him all the time.
I look. We take the constructive feedback and the accolades to heart.
I saw covering it.
Oh no, we just lagged on top of each other. Magic, please proceed.
Oh no. I was going to shout out My Damn Toys because the first time I saw AEW figures, like when I went on YouTube the day it dropped it, he had the most videos already up. And I was sitting that night, the day it got revealed. I was in the New York hotel that Wednesday from Dynamite, and I watched his video.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did watch that one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, shout out to him.
I'll tell you my favorite reviews. They're the ones that actually are a product in hand and have nothing to do with leaks, black market goods, or illegally acquired things that people shouldn't have. I hate those reviews the most, and I don't like when people do them.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So
Well, there you go.
stop it.
So stop.
Looking at you, Nick.
Stop it. Get some help. Me?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you know what? Cheers to that. You got me. I'll be honest.
How'd you get that CM Punk figure behind you, huh?
I actually stole this from the. I stole this from the cabinet with the Larry hoodie and everything. So
Nice.
Thanks for looking away when I did take it. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for that.
You just had a perfect spit take if you wanted it, because as he said it, you were just taking the cup away from him. You could have gone the what's CM Punk's figure?
I'll be honest, when we did this skit to start off this episode, I didn't mean to do such a big spit take, but it literally went everywhere on my monitor, my keyboard, it went on my notes, my phone started turning off and on.
Oh, so it's not Zoom's fault. It's your fault that we're laggy as F.
That makes sense now.
But if I blame Zoom, I can get compensation, maybe. Who knows?
We would not stand in the way for you. You chase that bag, man. We won't stop.
It's all about the hustle. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the question, Trey. This next one comes in from Sidefig Gig. Cal, good buddy of ours, I imagine. He says, for Magic, favorite Taskmaster contestant?
Oh man. So Cal, a little backstory. I'm a big British TV fan. I started talking to Cal about it. He told me about Taskmaster, and I had seen it previously, but I didn't really care for it. But I went back and gave it another shot because he recommended it. So the first season I watched was season 5 with Noel Fielding, because he's my absolute favorite. So
I love Noel Fielding so much.
Noel Fielding. And then James Acaster right behind him. Maybe Jessica Knappett. That whole season's good. Really, every season's great. Can't go wrong.
I don't know if you guys watch the big fat quiz of everything and stuff like that. I watch a lot of that. Richard Iota is really funny. Richard Iota and Noel Fielding are the best duo in the whole show. That's the reason why I watch. But yeah, I love me some British comedy.
I love those guys.
Audie's books, audiobooks. It's amazing.
Yeah. I just talked to a coworker in London, and I was like, I don't know if it's one of those things where that he's bigger here in the US or if he's a national treasure, but I love Matt Berry, British comedian. Yes. And I said to my coworker, it's like, Sam, is this a British term or is this a weird Matt Berry term? He's like, my God, he's mad as a wax banana. Sam looked at me and went, mate, no one says that here. I was like, okay, that's a Matt Berry phrase, not a British phrase. Got it. Matt Berry, Matt Berry, of course, being a multi-talented singer, songwriter, musician, and comedian of British fame.
Author too.
He's an author too.
Yeah. He wrote Toast on Toast.
Oh, right. And by the way, Toast of London was amazing, and he's now shooting Toast of Hollywood. We're getting Matt Berry in the U.S.
This guy, from the sound of it, he likes toast.
It's already on?
It premiered. It showed in Europe or whatever. I found it bootleg in the U.S., but it's definitely premiered already.
Anyway, see it. Can't wait. By the way, I just want to point out that for some reason we're not talking about wrestling figures. We haven't lagged once. There's been no video lag whatsoever. We start talking about actual work stuff.
There's some Zoom overlord who just hates wrestling figures, has a traumatic past with it or something. But appreciate that question.
God, Zoom, you're mad as a wax banana.
Exactly. Listen to Greg.
It's all the effing and the jeffing.
Exactly that too. Side fig, Cal, thank you for that question. Beautiful question. Great answer as well. Love some British comedians, if you will. I forgot how to speak for a second, but that's okay. This whole episode's I forgot how to speak. So it's great. It's fantastic. And we're just going to keep continuing not knowing how to speak. So that being said, next question comes here from CPW Figure Network. All right. And what do they say? Let's hear it. They say, will we ever get the full commentary team in a set?
In a set? The full commentary team? That's an interesting idea. We'll take it under consideration and advisement and bring it back to the quorum and see where we net out.
I think you guys should definitely not do that. You guys should definitely not do that. I think it would hurt ratings and sales. So out of spite, you should definitely
We should definitely not.
You guys heard it here.
We should definitely
not doing it because Nick Storm said it now.
Yeah, you guys are not doing it because Nick Storm said so. Because that's the bottom line. 316 day was yesterday. It's okay. We're a day late, but it's fine. Thank you for the question, CPW. I hope that answer fulfilled your needs. Next figure, next question comes in here from EMW. Next question comes in here from EMW Figure Shelf, and they say, "Will we ever see a 3-pack of Sting, Darby, and Punk from obviously their match in Dynamite where they wrestled? I forgot, but you guys know."
I love the diminishing returns we're getting from you with each question. I love it. It's so great.
I'm losing my sanity the more and more we do this.
Interesting. Each of the last 2 questions took on the form of a multi-pack. We're all ears. Do people want more multi-packs? Do they like collecting as single figures? These are all things that we consider when we do these lines.
When it's one-off, I think it's definitely worth it. Especially for like Darby, Sting, and Punk. That's a great like collector's item. I feel like do the packaging up. It's like a Blood and Guts, for example. Like that is cool packaging. I think people would be really down to see that.
Cool idea.
Thank you for the question, EMW Figure Shelf. Next one comes in here from Sam's Figs. We got a ton of questions, guys. Thanks for all submitting them. These have been fantastic so far. Sam's Figs says, "What's a day in the life look like for Magic?" I'm guessing that's when it comes to designing figures, or just what you do when you're not designing figures. I don't know. Sam's trying to invade your personal space.
Just being Magic.
Just simply existing. I'm guessing this is how you walk around the house normally every day with the sequence jacket, with the Master Man glasses.
looking like a Technicolor wizard Hagrid there.
So like this is my lighting setup in my living room. This is like how I normally have it. So yeah, you guys aren't far off.
I think what Magic looks like is if Doc Brown was like based off like actual 2015 and not what people thought 2015 would be like in the 80s. I feel like that's what Magic accurately represents. But yeah, what does a day look like when it comes to edit? I guess like editing like figure sculpts, even doing renders and stuff like that. How long and lengthy is that process?
So like it's a complicated question because there's so much different stuff to do. Like we work on so many different waves at once, phase of development. So there's a lot of figure like sculpt comments, there's figure concepts, there's deco sheets, there's so many different things that I'm doing all at once. So like one day or like 1 hour, it's a little taste of this, a little taste of that. It's like all going through it. So it's really just trying to find time for everything and making sure to like deliver on time for like hit certain milestones and hit the design development schedule. So it's just really a lot. And then checking in with people, meeting, and then addressing concerns. Like there's a lot of stuff that's like unglamorous about it, but it's always a lot of fun because like in the day we're just working on figures and it's like really fulfilling. And then we had special moments like at Revolution where we get to show off the figures to everybody and get like good feedback and see the wrestlers' reactions to them. So despite all the work, it's really worth it and just really fun.
I'm hoping to go to one of these so-called fan fests some days. Okay, you guys better have me. I better be in that booth. You know what? If you guys have a detolf without any shelves and I just kind of stand in it like this, I think you'd get a lot of eyes on that. People be like, that's so realistic.
You can be the photo op. Like you will be the actual like photo opportunity.
Yeah, I better have a table by the Jazzwares booth. Just have a table.
Nick Storm kissing booth.
Kissing booth.
Okay, well, we'll have to ask Sarah about that one. Maybe it could be for men only. A kissing booth for men only. I'm straight, but hey, I'm open to the idea. What can I say? Hey, and I'll charge like $50 a pop, if you will. That was a great question, Sam. Got a good insight on Magic as well. This next one, this closing question.
Got a good insight on Nick more than anything.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love a good insight on Nick? Wink, wink. Guys, $50 kissing booth next FanFest. Line up, get your tickets now.
I'll give you $350.
I think what we learned there is that what your commitment to wrestling is, and what your commitment to Sarah is, that you're willing to not kiss another woman, that you're willing to do everything else but kiss another woman, because that's how much you guys are real.
Yeah. So men only.
I said it before. Right? I'll say it again. Forget it, Sammy. Forget it, Ty. This is the real wrestling power couple right here.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna tell Sarah's gonna be over the moon with that. She's gonna pop for that. But next question, closing questions, coming here from I'm looking at it. The username says Mona Lola 44. Do you guys know who this is by any chance?
Yes.
This is
When
Mama
your
Magic.
mom writes into the podcast.
Yeah, this is Mama Magic. I'm not gonna not answer Mona's questions. All right, these are burning questions. People are dying for this. And the first question is,
dear Neon Demon Hagrid. First question.
first one is, who was Magic's #1 supporter? I feel like that's a little bit of a biased question, Mona.
Yeah, it's definitely my mom. My mom pushed me through everything for sure. And Greg, number 2.
I'm his mom's phase 1. I'm phase 2.
Yeah. I was like, my mom bought me all the Jax figures when I was growing up, all the WWE figures, and like let me keep them. And I've kept them to this day at my parents' house. So they're somewhere in a shed, all my collections.
Oh, wait, so you were collecting like as a youngin as well. Do you think that kind of like that inspired your, I guess, passion or even hobby like with wrestling figures to kind of create them one day?
Absolutely. Like I used to love wrestling like so much, and I collected them and I loved like playing with them and just like telling them stories. I think that's why I'm so good at what I'm doing now, is because I really understand what makes them good, like the appeal behind wrestling figures in particular. But I kind of fell out of wrestling. I didn't really like it, like maybe middle school through high school. And I didn't think about it much like when I was getting my degree in toy design. I really wanted to do like Ninja Turtles or something. But
Greg,
once
what are
I got
you doing?
back to Mattel.
Sorry, Matt. Greg,
Oh my
what
God,
are you
what's going
doing?
on?
What are you doing here?
I'm playing Dear Mama by Tupac.
Oh, we're about to get claimed.
You're getting claimed by Tupac. He's hiding somewhere in Colombia, I swear to God. Sorry, Magic. Go on.
I forgot what I was saying. What's going on?
You're saying Dear Mama.
Yeah. But yeah, my mom has been a huge
Dear
supporter. Yeah. She put me through college, so helped all this come true.
Shout out to beautiful, strong moms everywhere, especially Magic's. She's a delight, and she raised a delight that we have here before us, and all his Technicolor nightmare neon dream in front of us on screen right now.
And I got her hair, thankfully.
That's a specimen in and of its own. Greg, where's yours? Come on, we're matching. We have the glasses, we have everything. You have the beards. We have the hair.
It's only on my face anymore. Sorry.
You need to grow back those dreads.
I did have dreadlocks at one point. It's true.
Get the dreads back, Greg. I think that, if anything, that's going to be the showcase of the next Fan Fest. Is Greg's dreads.
I'll get started.
Thank you, Mona. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions. Sorry, Magic. Yeah.
I was saying, it's my dad's birthday yesterday. He's gonna be mad if I don't shout him out. So happy birthday!
Oh, shout out!
Oh, your dad was born on Austin 316 Day.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that was planned. I reckon that was planned.
I think so.
Yeah, they planned it out. But yeah, thank you. Shout out to Magic's dad as well. Shout out to Magic's mom. Shout out to everyone who put in a question. Sorry if I didn't get through all of them. But I do respect, as much as it doesn't seem like it, I do respect these people that I have in front of me, their time, and I really do want to thank them again for coming on. And this was such a train wreck, and this is going to be so fun to edit. So maybe I'll do a blooper reel of.
Why bother editing it? Just throw it out there. Just throw it out there real.
Throw it out there, you think?
Throw it out there.
No.
Yeah.
Look, you have too much guts,
warts
all
and
right?
all.
Warts and all. I'm gonna save all the warts to myself because I'm a little bit greedy. I love. Look, I'm a wart hoarder, if you will, and yeah.
You're a warthog.
Warthog, yeah. Hey, is that like a Halo reference, dude?
Listen, I gotta represent all my brands in these podcasts. Shout out to Fortnite. Shout out to Halo. Shout out to a bunch of things I can't announce yet. Shout out to Pokemon. Shout out to Micro Machines. Shout out to Nerf. Whole bunch of good stuff.
Guys, I don't know if you knew this, but
Greg's the hardest working man at Jazzwares.
Yeah, hardest working man at Jazzwares. Quick shout out to Greg. Guys, can we get a round of applause for Greg in the studio, everyone? Thank you. Yeah, the live studio audience that I have right behind you guys. I need a Pat McAfee like setup, just people in my room clapping for everything.
Sure.
But what people didn't know is after this directly ends, we're all hopping on Fortnite. Yeah, it's gonna happen, and you guys aren't invited. Just kidding, that's not happening. These guys have stuff to do. We're not playing Fortnite, okay? But I do want to thank Greg and Magic for hopping on. thank you for joining us. Where can they find you? And any final words about FanFest, about the reveals, about wrestling figures, what have you? The floor is all yours, guys.
Yo, big up yourselves. You've heard enough well things about the Jazzwares and the AEW line, so think for yourself. And big ups. And
We have
peace.
Ali G in the studio as well, guys. Shout out.
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Hear me now. And then me mate Ricky C wants to say,
Big up to you. Shout out to your mom. I'm not good. I don't do impressions very well. I can't do British.
yo, give it up for me main man Buzz Lightyear and Boutros, Gali.
Gali.
We could do a whole episode of Sacha Baron Cohen characters. This is fantastic. But yeah, where can they find you guys on social media and everything? Run through your tags.
Twitter is a cesspool of God knows what, so I stay off it as much as possible. My usual home, I gave up my personal Instagram years ago to my work efforts, so it's just Gregory_K_Mitchell on Instagram. And Jazzwares, of course, our main account.
Instagram handle, Magic Olmos.
Oh, God,
did we
darn it, that lag?
Freeze? Yeah, sorry about that, Greg.
Take two.
I'm trying to shout the company out too.
Sorry.
Jazzwares is a veritable cornucopia of all of our brands. You will enjoy seeing AEW next to Coco Melon, next to Blippi, next to Master Chief, and you'll like it. And then our AEW news hub is AEW's by Jazzwares on Instagram. But most importantly, Magic's handle is lag.
It's just Magic Olmos. I have a really creative name like Greg does. And again, also gave it up for work efforts. That's all I do is repost people's photos and like to show like the creative side of like figure photography. Really repost those people.
Whenever I see that little orangey purpley circle around your like little profile picture, your new added story, I like seeing like all the community creations that people are doing with the figures and everything like that. So it's good.
It's so fun.
If you guys are looking for more creators to like follow and stuff like that who do figure photography, Magic Olmos has it on his story. All right, so go freaking not knowing how to speak. I need some freaking KFC. I don't know about you guys, but thanks you for hanging with me. Follow them on everything, guys. Thank you all, most importantly, for watching. Do appreciate you. And yeah, follow me everywhere if you can. Link in the description. It's not about me, guys. It's about the beautiful guys standing in front of me that bring you these AEW figures. And without them, I probably wouldn't be collecting. And that's for real. That's a shoot, brother. I wouldn't be collecting. And yeah, dude, I appreciate you guys for coming on. I appreciate you guys just for plainly existing. Thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you. And thank you to our awesome teammates. We got Kevin Tully, Chris Metzger, Steve Zizak, Sandro Lopez, Ray, who will remain unnamed because he wishes to be unnamed, Daniel Jung, Adam Santaw, Adrian Barnard, some nice benefactor named Jeremy Padower. Anyone else we're missing there, Magic?
Penny Bow, Adrian Barnard.
Adrian, a name so twice. Nice, we said it twice.
Oh, you said it? I didn't hear that.
But yes, Penny, our new team member, Penny. Good work so far.
Yeah.
And then the newest team member in 2022, Nick Storm, coming soon. But can't talk about that obviously for legal reasons.
Look, look, Nick, I'm hiring an associate brand manager. I need somebody to help our boys and girls in the trenches. So you get your visa going. Come on out. You and Shoyo can sleep on the couch.
I mean, I do plan on visiting sometime within the next year or so. So maybe if that spot's still available, maybe I can even take over for Jeremy one day, kick him off his little throne, and I become the king of the figures.
Look, either come out for Double or Nothing in May, or come out to beautiful Chicago for I'm assuming All Out. It's always going to be in Chicago. I'm just guessing. Those are the dates to come, brother. So if you can get your money up and bring Sarah with you. We'll show you America the real way.
Hell yeah, I would love to.
It'll be better than when Beavis and Butthead done America.
Nothing can be better than that. Are you kidding? Maybe I need to do like a whole little vlog of Nick and Sarah come to America. Make it like Beavis and Butthead. It'd be great.
Which one's Beavis and which one's Butthead is the real question.
Look, that's for the people to decide. Guys, a little bit of fun in the comments. Which one's Beavis and which one's Butthead? Me and Sarah. That's your choosings. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching.
Hey, Sarah. Pull my finger.
I'm- guys, look, I freaking ripped this off the thing. It's time to go, guys. I'm gonna be holding it like Freddie Mercury.
Fire!
Look, Greg, all you want is fire and disruption, okay? And you're a menace for that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Do appreciate you all. And yeah, see you on the freaking next one. Bye-bye!